the Speaker of the County Assembly of Mandera, Honorable Mohamed Khalif, the Deputy Speaker of the County Assembly, Honorable Farah Abdi Noor, the Majority Leader, Honorable Abdi Adan Ali, the Minority Leader, Honorable Jamal Abdi Hassan, Honorable Members of the Assembly, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. Honorable Speaker, it is indeed a profound honor and privilege for me to address this distinguished assembly of our beloved country. I am most particularly honored, as this is the first time I have been invited to address the honorable members of the assembly. As your senator, let me take this rare opportunity to share with you some thoughts and my vision for our great county. Indeed, this occasion also presents an opportunity for us to enhance our collaborative engagement between the Office of the Senator and the County Assembly, as well as the Executive, for the greater good of our people. So, Speaker, allow me to recognize and appreciate the presence of the County Deputy Governor, His Excellency Mohamed, and members of the County Executive, who have also joined us this afternoon. I also wish to acknowledge the apologies of the County Governor, His Excellency Ali Ibrahim Roba, who would have wished to be with us this afternoon, but currently away, we're called on duty. So permit me also, Mr. Speaker, to begin my remarks by congratulating you for having been elected as Speaker of the Second Assembly of Mandera County, a leadership position with immense responsibilities and high calling. May I also congratulate the leaders of my majority and minority parties, as well as other political and House leaders, for being elected to their respective positions. My heartfelt congratulations also to you, honorable members of the County Assembly, on your election nomination to represent the people of Mandera County. Suffice to say, it was not only a worthy competition, but also a journey towards getting a golden opportunity to represent the great people of Mandera County. This, honorable members, should be our key focus, which is improving the well-being and welfare of our people. Having said so, your commitment and focus shall serve to navigate the ship through the ocean to the intended destination towards achieving the social, economic, and political development of our county. Let me state that I have faith in the entire leadership in steering the Assembly and indeed the county towards that direction. Allow me to use this singular opportunity to appreciate and thank the great people of Mandera for electing me as their senator to serve in the Senate of the Republic of Kenya. I undertake to champion their interests at the Senate, which among other mandates include that of protecting and safeguarding devolution and ensuring enactment of sound and responsive legislation that serve our best interests and welfare. This is a responsibility I will dutifully discharge. I say thank you. Shukran. Honorable Speaker, for the purpose of the record, I wish to observe that today's event is provided for in our statutes through the Senate Standing Orders number 247 on attendance before a county assembly and your Assembly Standing Order number 21 on address by a senator or visiting dignitary. Specifically, Standing Order number 247.1 provides that a senator may, in accordance with the rules of procedures of the county assembly, in which he or she is registered as a voter, attend and address the county assembly or a committee of the county assembly. It is my hope that this occasion will, among other imperatives, enhance and deepen our commitment and working relationship that is constitutionally designed for the mutual benefit of the assembly and the county senator's office in delivering to the public. Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members, as you are aware, Article 621 of the Constitution provides that the governments at the national and county levels are distinct and interdependent and shall conduct their mutual relations on the basis of consultation and cooperation. The Constitution also provides for the interlinkage between the two levels of government, but more importantly, the roles of the legislature, such as the Senate and the county assemblies, to enhance the provisions and ensure effective representation and oversight. In this regard, a senator plays a critical role in the interlinkage because a senator is an elected legislature serving in the national legislature while representing the people in the county. The letter and spirit of the Constitution is thus founded on the principle of consultation, including grassroots involvement, recognizing the centrality of the devolved structure of governance in our Constitution. Article 96 of the Constitution clearly stipulates the role of the Senate. The Senate represents and serves to protect the interests of the counties and their governments, participating in passing legislation concerning counties and determines the allocation of national revenue among counties. In addition, the Senate plays a pivotal role in determining the allocation of national revenue and oversight over the same between the two levels of government through the enactment of the annual division of revenue bill and among counties through the county allocation revenue bill. The Constitution also bestows on the Senate the unique responsibility to participate in the oversight of state officers. Mr. Speaker, in exercising the constitutional mandate of protecting the interests of the counties, the Committee of Budget and Finance of the Senate, which I chair, sponsors a number of legislative initiatives, including bills on county allocation towards resourcing of counties and other bills like the County Ward Equitable Development Fund, which is now before us, the Salary and Remuneration Commission Amendment Bill 2018, and at the same time considering other legislative bills committed for processing, such as the Public-Private Partnership Amendment Bill 2017, the County Statistics Bill 2018, among others, all geared towards effective functioning of devolution and other critical constitutional entities. Mr. Speaker, of great interest to the county and indeed to the other counties is the annual division of revenue and county allocation revenue bills, which divides nationally raised revenue between two levels of government and allocates resources among the counties respectively. These finance-related laws have had a great impact on our county as they guarantee not only what is equitably and fairly due, but also act as instruments that have resulted in consistent increment and safeguarding allocation to the counties, including Mandera County. Indeed, by the end of 2017-2018 financial year, the total amount to the county as per National Treasury estimates, including most conditional allocations, amounts to approximately Kenya shillings 43.98 billion. This, however, excludes own source revenue for the same period. In the current financial year, 2018-2019, through the County Allocation Revenue Act 2018, our county has been allocated a total equitable share amounting to Kenya shillings 10.14 billion, an increase from shillings 9.7 billion in the previous year. This is in addition to other conditional grants to the county to support key development functions, such as road maintenance, agricultural sector development support and climate-smart agriculture, rehabilitation of village polytechnics, Kenya Urban Support Project, health interventions in form of universal health care to transforming healthcare systems, as well as user fee forgone at county health facilities, among others. On the same note, Mr. Speaker, sir, the current budget of the County Assembly also increased from Kenya shillings 708.46 million to Kenya shillings 728.47 million to ensure effective functioning of the county legislature. This ensures that the members and the Assembly in general are adequately resourced and empowered to fully undertake legislative duties and responsibilities, including oversight mandate effectively. Mr. Speaker, sir, as the chair of the Senate Committee on Finance and Budget, this level of funding, in my view, provides a strong impetus in terms of resourcing the county to undertake planned programs and projects for the period under consideration in the effort towards actualizing key development goals. Mr. Speaker, sir, turning to democratic governance and representation, the experiences of the last general election in our county, where the democratic will of the people was tested in the hotly contested elections, were unique in themselves. The outcome was no doubt an expression of the sovereign will of the voter. That will is today demonstrated in the House of National Parliament, this County Assembly, and the County Executive. As we embark on making onward progress, we must put behind ourselves the past episodes of hot political grandstanding and focus on providing service to our people. Further, we need to nurture and entrench sound democratic values and ideals in our approach to elections and management of public affairs. These, honorable members, will also go a long way in entrenching devolution as a vehicle towards greater inclusivity and build a strong county on the path of tested democratic ideals and standards. As you are aware, honorable members, there has recently emerged a phenomenon in the country which every leader must embrace: the spirit of handshake and the imperative to work together for the common goal. Seldom do elections leave a people united, but it is incumbent upon all leaders to help nurture and champion the common purpose of unity and engage in a mission of working together in the greater effort to promote the aspirations and visions of the people. The spirit of the handshake has to a great extent been demonstrated by both the leadership of the Assembly and the Executive by working together and ensuring institutional harmony for purposes of delivering the developmental agenda and transformation buoyed by our resilience. In this regard, in this grand noble idea, the place of our people and all our other leaders cannot be gainsaid. They remain mutual partners in our collective transformational journey, and their contribution will always be needed and welcome. I invite all our leaders to embrace this noble spirit and work together. It is important to remind ourselves that even as we work together, we are duty-bound to ensure effective checks and balances and uphold strict fidelity to the framework of accountability and transparency. This, honorable members, is well within the meaning of principle of separation of powers as codified in law and must apply all the time, especially in matters related to county management and resource utilization. At this juncture, allow me to recognize the efforts of the entire county government under the leadership of His Excellency the Governor and the Honorable Speaker, for leading from the front thus far in promoting collective engagements. As your Senator, I remain committed towards complementing the noble efforts in that trajectory. Mr. Speaker, sir, I am also aware of the recent exercise of finalizing and fine-tuning the administrative structures and bringing on board competent daughters and sons of our great nation to serve in the county executive. The swearing in of chief officers and most recently county secretary following the bipartisan approval process by the county assembly is a formidable signal that the county is now fully ready to continue offering services to transform the lives of our people. I applaud that effort. Mr. Speaker, recently we witnessed the various committees of the Assembly engaging the Executive on oversight issues such as the status of ongoing public works, which are experiencing delays in completion. Further, your engagement with the relevant departments on the state of our sub-county hospitals and health facilities and seeking accountability in various county interventions are worth appreciating. These few examples, although few, make a strong case for a robust assembly with its eye on the devolution agenda. Mr. Speaker, 5 years since the inception of devolution, we can be proud of what we have achieved as Mandera County. To mention but a few, substantial devolved resources whose cumulative amount in the last few years is nowhere near what the former model of governance channeled on this side of the country. Improved access to maternal health care to our mothers, including performing cesarean operations in difficult circumstances to help in safe child delivery, as well as general health improvement for county residents despite the multiple challenges experienced. Enhanced health access to various sub-county level hospitals such as Elwak, Lafe, Banisa, Takava, Mandera North and Mandera East, and in other county health facilities. Creating strong public institutions for greater and sustainable county development, such as the first ever teachers training college establishment in the region in collaboration with the national government to build critical skills and improve education outcomes, which has been dismal in the past. Other institutions include the planned medical training college to train much needed paramedics and other healthcare personnel. Improved motorable state of our county roads as compared to pre-devolution era, which has reduced travel time and response to cases of emergency. The other one is breaking new grounds in the agriculture sector towards exploiting the untapped agricultural potential in the county. Indeed, great strides have been made, I think, towards achieving food security and nutrition, including improving the condition of livestock in the county. Recently, I visited the River, the demonstration farm, and I think that's a step in that direction. New county approach strategy to fully protect the environment, including the tree planting and greening in line with the national priorities, that's Vision 2030, and Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, which is too strong a resolve to promote and conserve the county environment and support livelihoods, among others. Mr. Speaker, these are few success stories that the county legislature must also feel proud of in terms of the devolution journey and further improve on. We have emerged victorious in the transition period with complete county structures and administrative systems now firmly in place, including experienced staff across the county that are a major asset to our people. This must not be taken for granted, and we must not relent. We should build on this very foundation and innovate around the challenges that we are faced to effectively deliver on our mandate. Mr. Speaker, as your Senator, I have crystallized my vision for our county, and most of it is anchored on actualization of functions that are already developed. My vision is a secure county that has closed the marginalization gap and with sustainable high socioeconomic indicators for every resident. This, in my view, can be achieved through the collaborative efforts of this Assembly, the county executive, and my office. As leaders, we must appreciate our distinct but interrelated constitutional and statutory functions, which are mutually reinforcing. In this regard, it is necessary to develop a working relationship that upholds harmonious and constructive engagement while also respecting the principle of separation of powers. If we proceed this way, we shall be able to collectively improve delivery of the fruits of devolution to the great people of Mandera. As you are aware, honorable members, Mandera County has had its own unique challenges, which include insecurity, infrastructural gap, as well as vagaries of weather, among others. To mitigate against this, and for a start, part of the strategy is to operationalize the Equalization Fund, which will ensure adequate intervention in key areas of health, roads, electricity, and water, as outlined in Article 204 of the Constitution. This is to ensure that Mandera gets its fair share without further delay. This calls for our committed effort to work closely with the national government for support in these key areas. Through the criteria set out by the Commission on Revenue Allocation, our county is identified as one of the marginalized areas to benefit from the fund. This holds great potential as a game changer in view of past circumstances, and no doubt that these measures will provide adequate finances to critical areas which, by way of allocation, are currently overstretching the physical ability of the county. It will also eliminate duplications in county interventions and free county resources to fully support core devolved functions. As county leaders, there is therefore urgent need to ensure full operationalization of the fund to benefit deserving areas in our county. Mr. Speaker, sir, improved access to quality and affordable health care is critical to the people of Mandera. A county with poor health care systems invariably reflects poor economic development. Access to quality health is also integral to the development of human capital, which was among the main focal topics on the annual meetings of the World Bank and IMF in Bali, Indonesia, which I attended, and will no doubt inform policy priorities in the coming decade and beyond. Therefore, we have to improve access to essential health care to citizens and overall quality of our health services. To achieve this, we must continue to ensure equipping of our health facilities with modern state-of-the-art equipment, increase the number of specialized medical staff, and provide for adequate medical supplies to various hospitals, dispensaries, and health centers in our county. In essence, we must strengthen the delivery of primary health care. While great strides have been made under the health sector, more needs to be done in response to all health indicators in the county. At the Senate level, we are already engaging, and we shall continue to champion for adequate funding by working closely together with the national government. Mr. Speaker, sir, the provision of safe and wholesome water to communities will improve public health by eradicating waterborne diseases. This will also mitigate against the burden of trekking and walking long distances in search of this commodity. Indeed, our mothers and children, who are the most vulnerable, need to have constant and adequate supply and access to quality water and sanitation. We must therefore endeavor to ensure availability of clean drinking water improper sanitation, and adequate watering points for our livestock. I commend the great effort that has been made in this direction for the last few years and urge the county executive and relevant departments responsible for this crucial mandate to stay focused. Honorable members, needless to say, improved access to quality water and improved sanitation will put fewer burdens on the health interventions and put the county on a head start to focus more on preventive rather than on curative interventions, which is a smart approach to resource use. So, Speaker, sir, while appreciating the efforts of the county executive so far, we must complement these efforts with the additional funding from the national government. The Mandera Water Supply and Sewerage Project, through partnership with the African Development Fund and the Kenya government, is a good example. Besides, there are other interventions which are meant to ensure good urban planning and service delivery through partnerships with the World Bank, such as the Kenya Devolution Support and Kenya Urban Support Programs. I'm happy to note that Mandera is part of the World Bank support in the medium term. Mr. Speaker, sir, the most profound aspect about education is the knowledge gain and lifelong pursuit in knowledge and skills development. Education makes us capable of interpreting our environment and understanding the world, especially in the wake of the emerging disruptive digital age and artificial intelligence shaping up today's world. Education is therefore the single most important thing that any nation must prioritize and provide for its citizens. In this, it is a testament to the liberating and empowering nature of education that all of us are able to assemble here today and deliberate on important matters of our county. Our education sector has, in the recent past, been affected greatly on account of terror-related challenges, which we are all fully seized of as we assemble here today. Against all odds, our primary and secondary schools continue to operate and compete in the national examinations as we appear to attain better outcomes that are within the national average. Allow me, honorable members, to congratulate all our dear children who participated and put out their best effort in the recent KCPE exam results. I would like in particular to congratulate Hamida Aftin Pulo and Zahara and Zakaria Ali Adam, who have accomplished remarkable performance and made us proud as a county by scoring 414 and 401 marks out of the maximum 500 points, respectively. The impressive performance made them emerge among the best in the nation. As they transit to the next level and open their minds to new opportunities, their new experiences, may they continue with that zeal, for it is the key towards utmost success. I also wish to sincerely extend my congratulations to all the teachers, parents, and education fraternity in the county for the steadfast support and guidance, which were instrumental in the attainment of the outstanding performance. To further strengthen basic education, therefore, in our county, early childhood education programs, which is a devolved function, should be adequately funded and staffed in line with the county forward plans. Although all aspects of education are not devolved, we must, through innovative interventions, help our learners access quality education, and this is critical to sustainable transition in this long journey of attaining knowledge and skills. We must, as county leaders, provide solid leadership and direction on matters of education because it forms the fulcrum and future of our county. The various on-spot interventions made so far during periods of great difficulties is a step in the right direction, whose fruits we are witnessing today. So, Speaker, sir, adequate road infrastructure and road networks are key planks to sustainable development. Further improvement of our road network over the years by county government and other agencies have tremendously contributed to the well-being of our county. Honorable members, as an assembly with appropriating powers, there is need to ensure all county roads are targeted for purposes of promoting equity and fairness across the county, as well as checking for effective use of all earmarked resources, such as road maintenance levy fund, as is the case for all conditional allocations. In addition, as you are aware, there are a number of key projects that the national government is undertaking with a view to upgrading some of our roads to bitumen standard. The case, in example, is the road between Mandera, Arabia, Lafe, Elwak, although I'm told there are some litigations, and also the road between Danava, Bute, Oda, to join us to the Moyale Yellow Road. In addition, the Kenya initiative, supported by the World Bank towards the North Eastern Transport Improvement, NITIP, is part of grand infrastructural support under the North and Northeastern Development Initiative, NIDI. Honorable members, one major flagship intervention under this initiative is the Cielo Wajir Mandera Road, about 740 kilometers. A corridor designed also to enhance internet connectivity by installing fiber optic cables along the whole length of the road. These groundbreaking initiatives by NIDI also include programs covering water and sanitation, health and energy, among others, will be of immense socio-economic development and benefits to the frontier counties, which our county is a member. As leaders, we must seize this opportunity. We must seize these opportunities and fully support and have the same objectives of the initiative embedded in our county integrated plans to ensure comprehensiveness in terms of forward planning. The construction of the Cielo Wajir Mandera Road to bitumen standard will not only reduce travel time and enhance economic activities, but will also certainly boost our security and safety as well. You may wish to note that our governor is in the forefront leading the frontier counties, and I have no doubt that these initiatives have the necessary push towards actualizing them as planned. Mr. Speaker, sir, as you are aware, Mandera municipality has been pre-qualified to apply for Sustainable Urban Economic Development grants called SWEED from the United Kingdom. The SWEED program aims to support up to 10 fast-growing municipalities in Kenya to develop sustainable urban economic plans and attract investment for critical infrastructure and value chain projects. For Mandera municipality to qualify and secure the funds, political goodwill is required from all leaders. To this end, I request that all members of the Assembly show and offer political goodwill required to help Mandera County secure that grant. Honorable members, you will be also required to capture the SWEED priority programs in the CIDP as and when the executive submits the proposal to yourselves, because it's a requirement by the donor that it must be also in our CDIP. So, Speaker, sir, a look at the various county plans clearly shows that there are deliberate steps and strategies to ensure the integration and success of the Big Four agenda, which include affordable housing, manufacturing, food security, and universal health care. As leaders, we have to collectively seek ways to fully engage the national government so that the four components can be actualized in this country. We need to scale up the health interventions and services in view of our foundational milestones towards the universal health care agenda. The same is true for achieving food security and contributing substantially to manufacturing, especially for purposes of creating jobs for our youth through value addition. This essentially means that food security and universal health care of the Big Four agenda can be among the top priority sectors given our needs in Mandera County. We also must prioritize the county ourselves. Honorable members, this will also entail a readiness assessment of the county, including the county assembly involvement with relevant support legislation, and I have no doubt you are up to the task. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Public Finance Management Act 2012 provides the basis for proper public finance management. Financial management, including the need to anchor expenditure on approved planning framework by county executive and other county organs. On the other hand, Article 185 of the Constitution vests the legislative authority of the county in the Assembly, including the power to approve plans and policies for the sole purpose of management and exploitation of county resources, and more importantly, to exercise oversight over the county executive with a view to ensuring effective service delivery. Honorable members, it is important to note that the planning framework, such as the CIDP and the annual development plans guiding the county resources, are timely prepared and approved by the County Assembly on time, since they form the basis of all county budgets. Legally speaking, and in a sense, that is linking county resources to county revenues. While this is the law, it also provides assurances that national resources appropriated annually are strategically applied, while accountability and value for money is achieved. Further, the Assembly is duty-bound to undertake its due oversight role through the various sectoral committees to ensure accountability and transparency. In view of this, there is need to strengthen the oversight mechanism around the planning framework, including promoting evidence-based approach, citizen participation, and adhering to legal timelines as underpinning principles. Informed policy and planning also supports the tenets of inclusivity and priority setting, entrenching equity and, most importantly, achieving measurable results. That imperative for a fair and equitable society must be clear from our planning, budgeting, and execution processes. As Chair of Budget and Finance Committee of the Senate, there is concern that majority of the counties are not complying with this basic but critical principle of law. Integral to good public financial management is the critical aspect of public procurement. Our Constitution outlines effective and equitable procurement systems and supply chain management that is efficient and transparent. It is at the heart of the plans and budgets that are approved and for implementation. The concerns around value for money and prompt payment or reasonable response time cannot be overemphasized. Therefore, the need for legislative resolve to solve this matter at both levels of government is an urgent matter of priority. As you may be aware, pending bills are now among the biggest threats in the counties and affect delivery of key programs and projects, mainly on account of systemic fiduciary risks it portends if left unchecked. As per the trends obtaining in some counties, accumulation of pending bills is almost near the amount of equitable share a county expects in the subsequent year, thus rendering county budgets unresponsive in the medium term. This is not right. This must be managed with a view to ensuring competent management of our procurement processes, while cognizant of the principle that payments for services rendered should not be discretionary. Honourable members, pending bills form a basis for first charge in the subsequent budget phase, and thus no cause for delays as is seen in most counties. Additionally, there is need to implement the presidential directive around full disclosure and transparency guidelines on public procurement to boost value for money and performance of county public investment program for the benefit of our people. This will also benefit our small-scale traders and entrepreneurs who promote value addition and contribute towards substantial job creation. I'm encouraged so far by the recent move by the Assembly and the County Executive to resolve the issues around pending bills with a view to strengthening county procurement process, systems, and timelines. Still on effective public financial management, subnational governments all over the world, such as the devolved units that depend on national transfers, are faced with the challenge of exploiting their fiscal capacity and ensuring sustainability to support overall budget requirements. Moreover, local on-source revenue has not been properly tapped across the counties in Kenya. Statistics from the Controller of Budget indicate stagnating or declining on-source revenues, calling for serious reflection. In this regard, in order to boost performance of on-source revenue and optimize inter-county tax rates and levies, there are policy interventions as well as legislative proposals which are being planned at the national level. I urge the Assembly and the Executive to look into this area of revenue performance critically. So, Speaker, sir, on an occasion like this one cannot fail to comment on the issues of corruption which affects development and prosperity. As county leaders and public officers, we are duty-bound to guard against this vice and to safeguard the resources of the county. I call upon and urge the leaders to guard against conflict of interest, entrench high ethical standards, and promote the principles of checks and balances as you discharge your respective mandates. On security, I'm glad to note that in the recent past, we have experienced relatively peaceful times. We must therefore remain vigilant because, as you are all aware, prevalence of insecurity remains a critical barrier to investment and development. The recent summit held in Mandera on promoting peace and eradicating insecurities and countering the narrative of radicalization and extremism was a good pointer, and we should further enhance such engagement until we are fully secure. Indeed, I acknowledge the efforts of the county leadership in this particular area. This again is part of the collaborative ways we must exploit in a more holistic manner and draw into larger partnership for sustainable safety and security. To this end, my office is open to such noble initiatives to secure our country as a whole. The speakers allow me to highlight few critical national priority agenda that must now, that we must show readiness and strategize focus, Allow me to highlight few critical national priority agenda that we must show readiness and strategic focus to fully appreciate in the imperative of nation building. The nature of this national agenda is basically the pillar of everything national development in the next decade or so, and thus affects all facets of national endeavors, including devolution. I have in mind the upcoming census and the next generation formula for equitable share for resources among counties, and inevitably, it's a linkage with county planning framework. On the national survey, that's the census, you will agree with me that the data and information source will be critical for equitable resource allocation and distribution, service delivery, among others. In the past, we have missed out a great deal on this basic state function and exercise, and thus largely affected interventions towards socioeconomic development in the country. This means, therefore, there is need to fully participate in the national census and support with relevant strategies such as ensuring adequate civic education. Honorable members, as agent of grassroots advocacy and empowerment, I invite you to fully conceptualize this national exercise and participate meaningfully to ensure successful outcomes that support national agenda. On the equitable sharing basis of nationally raised revenues, I urge all county entities and the leadership to channel their views to the Commission on Revenue Allocation. As your Senator, I will ensure that these views are considered and the Senate further gives you the right avenue to have your views prosecuted accordingly. I therefore call upon the leadership to be on the same page and move with a common purpose, the very call of collaborative engagement I signaled earlier. Honorable members, this is the call to protect the interests of devolved units as per Article 96(1) and 3 of the Constitution. As I draw towards conclusion, allow me to reflect further on the emerging issues around Eastern and Horn of Africa region, which presents us with immense opportunities. As I mentioned earlier, on the need for having a safe and secure county as bedrock for social, economic, and political development, you will agree with me that there is a glimmer of hope and wind of change sweeping across the region, especially in our neighboring countries. You may bring to mind our neighbors having embarked on a promising journey to close out on long-drawn conflicts and enhance cooperation and promote sustainable political cooperation. What do these profound developments portend or present to us? The newfound stability signals possibilities of achieving durable security and safety. This should serve as a turning point for better times, considering what we have undergone in the past, where we have been a victim of multiple adversities and conflicts, often from beyond our borders. Mandera is in a unique geopolitical location that can facilitate trade and ease movement of people across the region, especially where we assume a unique vantage point in the triangular border involving our country, Kenya, Ethiopia, Ethiopia, and Somalia. The actualization of one-stop border post or a comprehensive border management framework will facilitate trade and enhance commerce across these three countries, and further help in many ways, including boosting the physical performance and capacity of the county. This framework, for instance, will also put a modern crossing point along the Dawa River in form of a bridge which will substantially facilitate human, livestock, and vehicular movement. This presents us with an avenue to harness real dividend for benefit of our people and country. Moreover, the county has already captured in its plans the issues around the county border points and its cross-border trade opportunities and attendant risks, which I also see as a good area for the Assembly to fully provide support, including enacting necessary legislation. As leaders, proactive preparedness around this great opportunity, including capacity building on technical issues, will ensure full participation in the various eager-driven programs in the region. So, Speaker, the Mandera of tomorrow, built on the hard work of today, is really one of a great country in the making. This is the vision of Mandera in the 21st century that comes to my mind as I talk to you this afternoon. A vision that envisages a fully secure and safe country that has closed the marginalization gap and with sustainable, high, and favorable socioeconomic indicators for every resident. I'm confident and I'm quite positive that I am part of a responsive leadership that sees these possibilities and is keen to translate them into realities. I therefore call on your support and goodwill, even as we suggest sharing our vision and mission with valuable stakeholders and partners within and outside the country. Before I conclude, Mr. Speaker, I must sincerely thank you and the House leadership for giving me this opportunity to make this inaugural address before the distinguished Assembly. I thank you, honourable members, for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts and vision today with the County Assembly and the people of the great county of Mandera. I also pledge to continue interacting with the County Assembly going forward. To this end, I encourage the Assembly to fully utilize the mechanisms that have been put in place by the Senate in an effort to interact more with the county assemblies, which include visits by the County Assembly committees to the Senate committees, attachment of the County Assembly staff to the respective offices of the Senate. Mr. Speaker, let me conclude by submitting that this is the beginning of an enhanced working relationship based on mutual respect, collaboration, and committed service to our esteemed people of Mandera County. Together, we can aspire and achieve greater socio-economic heights if we move towards that direction. Honourable members, as you look forward to a long recess, having come from a busy session, we must strive for real change and remind ourselves that the County Assembly and the County Executive, as well as the Senate, by dint of its guardian role, have the collective responsibility for lifting the county to a higher pedestal as one of the best performing counties in the Republic. I thank you all, and God bless our county, and God bless Kenya. Assalamu alaikum.